Today it is the 9th of August 2022. In the Republic of South Africa we celebrate Women's Day. And it is indeed true that I greet you all in a reality of a Malaminse in which the Defense Force has served and defend you in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, dignity, courage, and integrity to petition the Constitutional Court of the Republic in a notice of motion declaring the replacement of the terms "Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land," with the terms "Let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home," in the national anthem of the Republic. And inter alia declaring the immediate payment or retrospective payment of the plaintiff's salary. Good people, this reality has been before the Constitutional Court since the 4th day, April 2022. And it has been duly served to the office of the defendants accordingly, as you can see by the state of attorney in Cape Town. The reality of this matter is that in any petition that you make to the Constitutional Court, 25 copies with the original must be served to the registrar. And these 25 copies were duly quality assured relative to the original. And this is the efforts that you see that have been taken in that particular regard, to ensure that each and every copy does and say exactly the same thing. This gentleman that you see here before is a justice of peace, a peace officer, who has went to the post office and served the registrar of the Constitutional Court in a registered mail whose details you see before your screen, and actually has this particular voucher as proof thereof. It is indeed true that South African Navy Sylvester Mangolele is being thought of being removed from his position, while the Knopkiri does the talking in the Navy. And the court order upheld the reality in which Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Bolane Mangolele is on the streets. And he has done everything in accordance with the Constitution and the law. However, this Malaminse persists. And the persisting of the Malaminse, we have the Mkhonto and the Knopkiri being antithetical to the code of arms. I wish not to say it otherwise to any other person in relation to the reality that is before you. The reality that is before you is aggravating, and it is antithetical to the natural order that is envisaged in our constitutional order as a republic. It is indeed true that a symbol, Knopkiri, of authority and defense shown laying down to depict peace, was used as a weapon by Rear Admiral Mkhonto Junior Grade at the time to assault me, and he was rewarded with a promotion for doing so instead of facing prosecution in accordance with the Constitution and the law. That is the reality of our country. That is the reality of our people. Nkosi, sikelela iAfrika. God bless Africa. Maluphakanyiswe uphondo lwayo. May her glory, dignity, horn be lifted up high. Yizwa imithandazo yethu, hear our prayers. Nkosi, sikelela, God bless us. Thina luswapho lwayo, we a family. The Organization of African Unity is such that the member state of Organization of African Unity party to the present charter shall recognize the rights, duties and freedoms enshrined in this charter and shall undertake to adopt legislative or other measures to give effect to them. And the duties as envisaged in Chapter 2 at Article 27 is such that every individual shall have duties towards his family and society, the state and other legally recognized communities and the international community. The rights and freedoms of each individual shall be exercised with due regard to the rights of others, collective security, morality, and common interest. It is indeed true that every individual shall have the duty to respect and consider his fellow beings without discrimination and to maintain relations aimed at promoting, safeguarding, and reinforcing mutual respect and tolerance. At Article 29, every individual shall also have the duty to contribute to the best of his abilities at all times and shall at all levels to the promotion and achievement of African unity. To preserve and strengthen positive African culture valued in his relations with other members of the society, in the spirit of tolerance, dialogue, and consultation, and in general, to contribute to the promotion of the moral well-being of society. It is indeed true that every individual shall also have the duty to work to the best of his abilities and competence, and to pay taxes imposed by law in the interest of the society. To preserve and strengthen the national independence and the territorial integrity of his country, and to contribute to its defense in accordance with the law. Good people, every individual shall also have the duty to preserve and strengthen social and national solidarity, particularly when the latter is threatened, and shall also have the duty not to compromise the security of the state whose national or resident he or she is. Every individual shall also have the duty to serve his national community by placing his physical and intellectual abilities at its service. This shall be done to preserve the harmonious development of the family and to work for the cohesion and respect of the family, to respect his parents at all times, to maintain them in the case of need. Fellow South Africans, we have a reality which requires all to do what each and every individual can do in their respective abilities and capabilities. This particular reality requires all of you to contribute to the promotion and achievement of African unity. I cannot overemphasize the reality in which all people have and must say to God that Nkosi sikeleli Afrika, Morena boloka setjhaba sa heso, God protect our nation. o fedise dintwa le matshwenyeho. Intervene and end all conflicts. National Peace Commission carries a gospel of peace in South Africa, and people in the Islam means peace. And Dar es Salaam is the house of peace. And peace in Hindu is Shanti. And Jews greet in the name of peace, Shalom. It is Christians who follow the peace of God in Jesus Christ in view of Mark 8:34, who inter alia are commanded to be the peacemakers, as in the word of God in Matthew 5 verse 9, as blessed shall they be as the children of God. What more can be said shall all be said before. But the question is begged. Who is listening and who else has biblical blueprint, national action plan, and a library of evidence and a museum of truth or national development plan? And if they do, then we really need to meet them. It is all these church and servant leaders in this community of our motherland who need to humble themselves and to realize that this kingdom building and business, and not only a family business, and it is his kingdom, church. And Matthew 16 verse 18 is clear in that regard. And the gates of corruption or hell shall not prevail. Fellow South Africans, we have a reality in which the South African Navy is the people's navy. The Constitution is the supreme law of our republic. Farm killing must be stopped. Justice must be upheld. And the Honorable Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga is effective immediately appointed as the Chief Justice of the Republic of South Africa. This is following a careful thought and consideration of the reality of our country, in which the incumbent Chief Justice Raymond Mlungi Sizondo is being removed from office in accordance with the terms before the Free State High Court. And we shall indeed follow the letter of the Constitution in this regard. I am, however, as the sixth President of the Republic of South Africa, giving you this reality in which, in an event that the Chief Justice is removed, another Chief Justice must be appointed. We call upon you, the Honorable Justice Mbuyiseli Mlanga, to answer this national call and respect thy call to thy people. It is indeed true that Oseboloke, protect us. Oseboloke setjhaba sa heso. Protect our nation. Setjhaba sa South Africa. Protect South Africa. South Africa ate die blauw van onze hemel, from the blues of our skies, ate die diepte van ons see, out of the depths of our seas. Oor onze ewige geberstes, over our everlasting mountains, or where the echoing cracks resound. I sound the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and enjoy freedom. Let us live and enjoy freedom. Good people, let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. The reality is as explicitly set forth in Chapter 1 of our Supreme Law, in which the Republic of South Africa is one sovereign democratic republic, founded on the values of human dignity, the achievement of equality, and the advancement of human rights and freedoms. non-racialism, and non-sexism, the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law, universal adult suffrage, a national common voters' roll, regular elections, and a multi-party system of democratic government to ensure accountability, responsiveness, and openness. This particular constitution is indeed the supreme law of the Republic. Any law or conduct inconsistent with it is invalid, and the obligations imposed by it must be fulfilled. There is indeed a common South African citizenship in which all citizens are equally entitled to the rights, privileges, and benefits of citizenship, and equally subject to the duties and responsibilities of citizenship, in which national legislation is indeed provided for the acquisition, loss, or restoration of citizenship. And the national anthem of the Republic is determined by the President by proclamation, in which the national flag is the symbol that you see behind me. I am indeed its head. I uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic, and promote the unity of the Republic and that which will advance the Republic. To live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. Fellow South Africans, I have submitted an application of law by the people of the Republic of South Africa in accordance with the Constitution and the law. National Peace Commission Declaration, the final protocol which I have explicitly set forth to the respective parties, the Congress of the People, the Road to Conference or Democracy of South Africa, which is CODESA 2022. The SADC Tribunal for Natural Justice, Promotion and Achievement of African Unity, in which Batupele are put first. People are first. We cannot have a reality in which our foundation is corrupt. We cannot feed the African tree in our responsible and inescapable continental leadership role to serve peace in the African tree and give it rubbish. The reality of the matter before you is such that Nkosi sikeleli Africa. Let us live and enjoy freedom in the universe, our home. For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. And this is the victory of that overcometh the world, even our faith. In the case of Emmanuel versus the state of Kerala on 11 August 1986, the Supreme Court, the Court of Final Appeal, concluded by stating, our tradition teaches us tolerance, our philosophy preaches tolerance, our Constitution practices tolerance. Let us not dilute it. After setting aside the High Court's judgment which held that standing up silently clearly does not either prevent the singing of the national anthem or cause disturbance to an assembly engaged in such singing. This was after in July 1985, 3 children were expelled from their school after they refused to sing the national anthem of India, Jana Gana Mana. They objected to singing the anthem because it was allegedly against their religious faith of Jehovah's Witness. Their father did what fathers do, and the Supreme Court ordered the state of Kerala to readmit them to school on the basis that the expulsion from school violated the children's rights to freedom of expression and freedom of religion. Let there be peace for all. Let there be justice for all. Papa O Teng. It is indeed true that we have a reality in which I am in service and defense of my country and its people, and my contract is, as you see, on that particular reality, that it ends on 2023, May on the 21st. It is indeed true that people did everything in their power to try and confuse all of you, to think that I am not in service and defense of my country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law. And I take this humble opportunity to educate you of the realities of our country. And in service and defense from the waters of our country to the land, with my voice, under all your ears. I did take a solemn oath in that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. My integrity includes morality, trust, virtue, business, reality, principles as envisaged in terms of Section 2 of the Defense Act, ethics, truth, culture, serenity, and the Code of Military Conduct. It is indeed true that for this saith the high and loyalty of that inhabiteth eternity, whose name is holy, I dwell in the high and holy place, with him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble and to revive the heart of the contrite ones, as in the book of life at Isaiah 57 verse 50. According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that ye should be holy and without blame for him in love. Ephesians 1 verse 4. Nkosi sikelela Africa, as I 99004046 MC Sylvester Lieutenant Sylvester Vulane Madala Mangolele, herein also called the appellant, hold a permanent commission conferred by the President in a rank of Lieutenant Commander as an independent justice of the peace or peace officer, in the full and ultimate sense of security of the Republic of South Africa, in service and defense of the country, which is the nation, and its people, which is the state, in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, dignity, courage, and integrity, and declare in the presence of everyone in the universe, and in full realization of the high calling at the place of new beginnings, Polsmo Prison, on 24 February 2021, as a citizen of a democratic republic equally entitled to the rights, privileges, and benefits of citizenship, and equally subjected to the duties and responsibilities of citizenship, wherein national legislation provides for the acquisition, loss, and restoration of citizenship. Assume as the 6th President of the Republic of South Africa, as my integrity includes to obey, observe, uphold, and maintain the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law. And admittedly, I have always promoted all that will advance the Republic and opposed all that may harm it, protected and promoted the rights of all South Africans, discharged my duties with all my strength and talents to the best of my knowledge and ability and true dictates of my conscience, did justice to all, devoted myself to the well-being of the Republic and all its people, and ensured that Nothing in law affects my power under any law to extend mercy to any person. It is indeed true that the manner of effecting an arrest is envisaged in terms of Chapter 5. Arrest by peace officer without warrant is in terms of Section 40 of the Criminal Procedure Act, number 51 of 1977. Good people, it is indeed true that any law or conduct inconsistent with the Constitution is invalid. And by the power entrusted in me, in terms of the supremacy of the Constitution and the rule of law, I have, in terms of Section 41, as a peace officer without warrant, arrested the incumbent President, Cyril Ramaphosa, who commits or attempts to commit any offense in my presence. And the reality is that this particular arrest is in accordance with the law in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act envisaged at Section 41A and J, which grants me the power to arrest any person who willfully obstructs me in the execution of my duties. It is a duty to father my children. Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, you are under arrest in your capacity as the incumbent 5th President of the Republic of South Africa for an offense of torture or slavery, servitude or forced labor, or serious violation of the Constitution or the law, serious misconduct, or inability to perform the functions of office. You have the right to remain silent. Any statement you voluntarily make may be admissible as evidence against you at your trial on 25 August 2022 before the Free State High Court Division in terms of case number 3373-2022, read with case number 3369 of 2022 in the same division. You have the right to be brought before a court within 48 hours and the right to legal representation to defend a conviction of imprisonment for life as an accused person who, while owing allegiance to the Democratic Republic of South Africa and acting in concert and with common purpose and in breach and violation of such allegiance, wrongfully and unlawfully, did not provide for the defense of the Republic and for matters connected therewith, and with hostile intent against the country and its people, including Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Volane Madala Mangolele, herein also included as the incumbent 6th President of the Republic of South Africa, or the 6th President, namely to commit torture, attempt to commit torture, or incite, instigate, command, or procure any person to commit torture, or participate in torture, or conspire with a public official to aid or procure the commission of or to commit torture, and subvert or overthrow the state or to disturb, impair, endanger the existence, independence, security, safety, or authority of the state, and did not in their natural or juristic nature as officials, employees, or representatives of an organ of state who owes allegiance to the Republic and engages in conduct within or outside the Republic with the intention of unlawfully impairing, violating, threatening, or endangering the existence, independence, or security of the Republic, unlawfully changing the constitutional structure of the Republic, unlawfully overthrowing the government of the Republic, or unlawfully coercing by violence the government of the Republic into any action or into refraining from any action. The arrest or charges applies mutatis mutandis to all accused persons who are a decline in critical capabilities that must be arrested through immediate directed interventions. Fellow South Africans, the law of contract in South Africa is explicitly clear. As you can see, summarily put forth before you. It is indeed true that we have a reality in which people are incompetent to read, and such incompetence is confused with abuse of power. You are free to pause this particular video at your own will and read the requirements of a valid contract, which is the issue before the courts. And such issue is supported by a library of knowledge in terms of the books before the law. This is one of the rooms that I have occupied in my journey to save and free you all people from slavery. It is indeed true that my name is Sylvester Volane Madala Mangolele. South Africa is on my shoulders. I serve and defend my country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and with honor, dignity, courage, and integrity. I serve in the South African National Defence Force with loyalty and pride as a citizen and a volunteer. I do not advance or harm the interest of any political party or organization. I accept personal responsibilities for my action. I obey all lawful commands and respect all my superiors. I refuse to obey a manifestly illegal order. It is indeed true that I carry out my mission with courage and assist my comrade in arms, even at the risk of my own life. I treat all people fairly and respect their rights and dignity at all times, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, culture, language, or sexual orientation. I respect and support my subordinates and treat them fairly. I do not abuse my authority, position, or public funds for personal gain or political motive. I report criminal activity, corruption, and misconduct to the relevant authority as is the case. I improve the capabilities of the South African National Defence Force by maintaining discipline, safeguarding property, developing skills and knowledge, and performing my duties diligently and professionally. I am the Defence Force of the Republic of South Africa, the South African National Defence Force, the pride of the nation. I consist of the Army, the Air Force, the South African Navy, and the South African Military Health Services. Together we comprise of a duty and 4 goals, at which is to defend, protect South Africa, safeguard South Africa, promote peace and security, developmental and other ordered tasks, which include task number 13, which contributes to the development of South Africa and its people. These are the tasks that I may take the whole 24 hours or 72 hours explaining them to you in detail. However, they are the tasks that I must fulfill, and they are the tasks that I must achieve through you all, humbly so. That is why I request all of you to understand the South African National Defence Force trajectory, in which we are united as one. The South African Army, the South African Air Force, the South African Navy, the South African Military Health Services are all inclined in the trajectory in which, in terms of milestone 1 of the South African Defence Review 2014, we must arrest the decline in critical capabilities through immediate directed interventions. And in terms of milestone 2 there too, we must rebalance and reorganize the defense force as a foundation for future growth. I am the defense force, and as the defense force, I have the duty to all of you and to promote African unity and their achievement thereof. It is indeed true that Botswana, Namibia, Swaziland, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Lesotho are our neighboring countries, which contribute into us being one African continent, including all other African continents, in which you are now confined in the Pretoria, Johannesburg, Bloemfontein, the Cape Town, the Port Nolloth, and Maseru, and Umtata is London of the Republic of South Africa. It is indeed true that I also have a responsibility to the exclusive economic zone of our republic, in which in the Agalas, the Indian and Atlantic Ocean through the Benguela and the Agalas Current, the two oceans meet. The Cape Peninsula, the Cape Agalas, the Indian Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Wind Drift are what I serve and defend and sail at all times, regardless of weather, without fear, favor, or prejudice. These are what makes us a nation equal in all nations in the universe. The reality of this matter is that in chapter 11, I am established. And as established as a person, I am also a juristic person. I am equally a natural person. I have work to do. And that is the work that one is doing in accordance with the Constitution and the law. It is very important for all of you to understand that this particular averments and advances are of the record of court, in which Chapter 11 gives the general principles and the establishment of the and structuring of the security services, in which no member of the security service may obey a manifestly illegal order. And it is indeed true that I, as President Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Bolane Mangolele, am a man of God. God is at work in the road before us all. We all saw fire in the House of Law as the new beginning of the year 2022, new beginning at minute 8, the Sabbath day of January, a month of new beginnings, at the age of redemption, a new beginning at 38. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk, in John 5. It was 8, the new beginning of a man. Is the number of death, which is 5. And in casu of corruption, South Africa is on my shoulders. And with that particular reality, 5 as the number of death kills corruption in this regard. And let us live and enjoy freedom. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. I am true to my terms. I am true to my duty and service and defense of my country and its people in accordance with the Constitution and the law. As you will understand that first, as God gave Moses all power to free the Israelites from slavery, equally so, God gave Sylvester Bolane Madala Mangolele and all of you all power to free Africans from slavery, and I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterwards thou shalt be called the city of righteous, the faithful city, as in Isaiah 1 verse 25. This is the first paper or presentation in its form to fulfill the obligations imposed by one of the best constitutions in the world, in the universe for all people in the Republic of South Africa to live and enjoy freedom guaranteed in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, read with the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, Act 108 of 1996. By arresting the decline in critical capabilities through immediate directed interventions as mandated by an Act of Parliament in terms of Milestone 1 of the South African Defence Review 2014. The first decline is the first citizen of the Republic and is under arrest for torture and other crimes associated with the crime of torture of all people in South Africa, our land. Only a slave lives and struggles, strives or attempts for freedom in their land. Only one of two choices required from all people. The teachings of Sutherland AJ at the time, held that counsel really is required to research the law and present an honest account of it. That is at paragraph 14 of the matter that you see before you. All persons interpreting any legislation must, as in Makate versus Vodacom, section 39.2 means that the courts are bound to read a legislative provision through the prism of the Constitution. The sixth President submits that the right to life incorporates all rights. Follow the incumbent fifth President, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, only to live and struggle for freedom. Or follow the incumbent sixth President, Lieutenant Commander Sylvester Bolane Madala Mangolele, only to live and enjoy freedom. It is like that. When we remember our mother and father, and when we remember that this is Women's Month, it is indeed true that I am born of a woman. I am blessed with two mothers who have done everything to see me graduate in 2003 to become a commissioned officer under the leadership of one George Mpafi, retired Rear Admiral. He was a captain at the time. We were blessed with the presence of Megili Bolemaja, Onika Mantsepa Mangolele, and Mrs. Tutubala, the mother of Morgan Tutubala and his father, in our presence. I went to school in uniform, paid by the money that all of you have paid. And in so doing, these mothers united again and saw me graduate in my first achievement in diploma electrical engineering. And that particular reality, as me as Sylvester, the name Sylvester come from this person who is my brother, Langutane Paul Mangolele. He has the virtues of family. My mother has the virtues of children. It is the reality in which, in the passing of my mother, my son Nyiko Mangolele was not present. And while all have gathered to pay their last respect to my mother, my child, the only child, was not present. And so, even when my mother's tombstone was unveiled, Nyeko Mangolele and Aluta Songelwa were not present, which is the Malaminse, which brings us to this particular reality in which the court has to ensure that the best interest of Nyeko Mangolele and Aluta Songelwa are of paramount importance in every matter concerning them. It is the truth that they are my children. It is the truth that I cannot run away from. That is Nyeko, my son, Aluta, my daughter. These children, they owe allegiance to the Republic of South Africa. And in 2011, I went to the Children's Court in which I have obtained an order in terms of Section 46 of the Children's Act of 2005, Act number 38 of 2005, in a matter between myself and my ex-wife, the mother of Nyeko Mangolele, Millicent Malenja Mangolele, at the time, who is now Sankobe Bon Rikotso. The court ordered on 17 October 2011 already, and all that has been happening is that the courts have been ignoring this particular court order, making it as if I am crazy, making it as if the defense force is incapable of upholding the supremacy of the Constitution and the law, making it as if there is no law in our republic, while law does indeed exist. In a reality where a court has indeed ordered that a child must remain in the custody of her biological mother, and major decisions relating to the child to be made by the father in consultation with, by both parents in consultation with each other. This is something that is not happening. The biological father has these particular duties. And these particular duties, where the biological father is entitled to have custody of the child every alternative weekend and every alternative school holiday, the first said weekend to be the 28th of October 2011, from 1500 in the Friday preceding the weekend to 1600 in the last day of the weekend. The biological father is entitled to collect and return the child in to the biological mother. Good people, this is my son. I was there when he was born. That is Nyeko. The incumbent Chief Justice, the President of the Republic of South Africa, and all the other peoples in the judiciary are saying this person does not exist, or this reality does not exist. I have been there for my son at all times. I have nurtured him, played with him, swam with him, and saw him smile and laugh in front of his friends at home, and taught him the one and twos, which his father is fairly good at playing. It is the reality in which my son has missed out on a lot of things that he was catching up on, nicely so, as I had led him by example and have played with him at all times. This was on his 10th birthday when I flew from Cape Town to Johannesburg to spend just a weekend with my son. I bought him a phone at that particular time for us to keep contact, and unfortunately the phone disappeared with the will of the mother. We are not contacting one another at this particular point in time. And such aggravating reality lasted for far too long, in which we had been separated for a very long time. And happiness and joy came to my life when Aluta Songelwa was born. It is indeed true that I love my children. I am happy to be a father. People want you to believe that I am not happy to be a father. And in loving my children, I have done everything for my children. And I am doing, even now, everything for my children. There is my princess. There is his brother. My yellow boniki, Aluta. It's not Aluta continua. It is Aluta stop nonsense. She does not like nonsense. She is not there to continue our perpetual struggle for freedom in South Africa, our land, and has stood against all others that have been appearing in this particular regard in court, where the Honorable Justice Davis of the Pretoria High Court gave an order that I must have access to Aluta Songelwa, in which where you see as prayed or as ordered in the first sentence in that particular regard. And with such order, beginning on the 18th to the 28th of October 2019, and continuously every alternative weekend and alternative holiday, the Honorable Kolopan J affirmed that order, as you can see in his order. And when I asked him for other issues incidental and relative to that, those particular issues have led us to this current aggravating reality in which I am without my children, I am without care and contact of them, I am without my money, I am without property, and all that is envisaged in terms of the Constitution and the rule of law. You will understand it to be true that on my son's birthday, on the 18th of October 2019, when we were supposed to meet with my son and my daughter, I was arrested unlawfully for trespassing when I went to the Pretoria HQ to give effect to the court order. My children requires their father to have money. My money is in the Navy HQ. When you go to the Navy HQ, you get arrested for trespassing as a peace officer and a justice of peace coming to give effect to a court order. That is the reality. And this particular reality saw me being released on warning to appear before court on 21 October 2019. And then I had to go home on that particular Friday, while the people in the defense force wanted me to spend time or weekend in jail for simply enforcing a court order. And in simply enforcing a court order that must be enforced in terms of Section 165(5) of the Constitution, I was arrested and then envisaged to spend time in jail for the whole weekend and miss the wedding of Amogelang Baloyi to Dr. Valerie Katapi. When they then saw me on the following day, on the 19th, with my son for the first time since 2016. And as you can see on the schedules of crime, the police officer in Pretoria held true that trespassing is an unarrestable offense in which the person cannot be imprisoned while awaiting trial. It is there, trespass, as you can see on the red block next to you there, in front of your screen. But in the Western Cape, they made me wait for trial in prison based on allegations of trespassing at my own workplace. A sad reality that is antithetical to what you see here. Good people, I have been in and out of court, and the matters have been struck out based on a lie being told on me that I have no lawful grounds to be with my children. I have no right to say I want to be with my children. That is the lawlessness of the administration of the incumbent president, Cyril Ramaphosa, which saw me go making a complaint on service delivery by the Pretoria High Court to the office of the executive mayor and the office of the speaker of the city of Tshwane, in which I said the first citizen and the speaker of the city of Tshwane is directed to suspend all proceedings by the Pretoria High Court subject to an investigation of treason by the group of its judicial officers caught in a web of corruption. The Pretoria High Court has enslaved the writer as in the attached founding affidavit in support of this letter. The indulgence of the office of the executive mayor and the speaker of the city of Tshwane is called upon in accordance with the constitution and the law in relation to service delivery by the judiciary to all people in the Republic of South Africa. The Service Delivery Charter for the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development shall act as a guiding principle in resolving this matter of public importance. That is what was faced with the Speaker of Tshwane. And the Speaker of Tshwane did nothing. He went to Kuma police station, in which you have made a charge against the people in terms of this particular case number, which you are free to freeze. And this particular case number was made a prayer in this particular notice of motion. Case number 19275 of 2020, which was issued in 30 December 2020 before noon by the Registrar of the Western Cape High Court in accordance with the rules for the matter to be heard on the following Tuesday at 10:00, as you can see, as prayed for in that particular notice of motion, pending the conclusion of the matter before the Magistrate Court of Simonstown to case number A686 of 2020, A718 of 2020, and M503 of 2020 in the following terms. Enrolling this application as an urgent action, dispensing insofar as is necessary with the forms and services provided for in the Uniform Rules of Court in terms of Rule 612A. Good people, Rule 612A is an urgent rule. And I tell you today that this particular urgent notice of motion that was placed before the Western Cape High Court in December 2020 is still not concluded. Urgency is being written as something else that it is not true. It has been an hour that I have been talking to you. I shall take a break and revert, continuing forward. Let us take a break in this particular regard as God bless us with the strength to carry on in this particular road in accordance with the Constitution and the law for national peace and National Peace Commission in our land. God bless you until I return. Papa O Teng.